Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the 24th episode of the Choking Hazard podcast without RDT at the moment because he always does this every single week and before we start every single podcast he'll leave right as we start the stream, so he only returns now. But we got our usual co-hosts, Sugar-Free Nos over that side.
Hello.
And RDT down there, obviously a very happy one. And our guest tonight is speedrunning extraordinaire, Joshimuz. Hello, welcome to the stream, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being on it.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to be talking about speedrunning. We're going to be talking about GTA. We're going to be talking about speedrunning GTA. We're going to be talking about all the things.
You don't know any of this man's content, do you, bruv?
I do. I did my research. Don't talk to me like that. I'm professional. But
well, RDT doesn't know, so we're going to be educating RDT. So,
since this has been Nos's, I guess, crusade to get Josh on the podcast for a while,
it's been 3 months.
Yeah, I should have done better in reaching out myself a long time ago, but I failed miserably many times. But since that is the case, I'm going to let Nos take it away with a little bit, talking about why you wanted him on the podcast. And, you know, introduce his content. What is he all about? Obviously, you can ask him to do it himself.
Why do I have to do this?
Nos is so bad at this.
Nos, come on, Nos. This is your time to shine. This is your time to shine.
I'll tell you why.
I remember Boski.
But I started watching Josh with his. He has a series on his YouTube, a very fantastic series that is based on GTA San Andreas called True 100% Plus, and it is a.
I've seen this term put around. I'm curious. Let's come back to that. Just so I remember.
We'll have him describe what it is, but the reason that I like it so much is that it is not only doing everything in the game, it is doing everything in the game a very special way, which I'll let him talk about, obviously. But I feel that speedrunners have such an in-depth knowledge of a video game, like any video game, no matter what it is, that they are able to, when they attack a game in a more casual manner, maybe that's not the right term, but that's what makes True 100% so special, is that all of this knowledge about the game is on display, but it's not in necessarily a, I've got to move so fast I can't explain it to you format. And that's what makes it so special. And that's why I love it. And, you know, he streams and does all kinds of other things too, but I'll let him tell you about that. So,
Joshimuz.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this amateur hour podcast.
Yeah, we're way below your standards, trust me.
I actually ran a podcast for a while, and this is much better, so don't worry.
So, tell us a bit about how you got into, because you have a Twitch channel that has a good significant number of followers. You obviously do all the speedrunning stuff. How did it come to be a thing?
Okay, so probably 2012. I'm like watching StarCraft and stuff on Twitch TV, or Justin TV as it was then.
It's gone back.
Yeah. And I'm like browsing, watching random video games, and then I see someone speedrunning Wind Waker. And I just asked them in their chat, like, hey, how do you start speedrunning? Because I was interested, and they just said, speedrun your favorite game. So then I made a mental list of my favorite games and like checked if there were speedruns of it. And there was only one really old one of San Andreas. So I was just like, oh, I'll do that. So I just took that, learnt it, made it better, and just streamed that. And yeah, that's that, really.
And then it went on from there and there and there.
Yeah. I was like, go on, sorry.
There was a question in the chat. So what's a speedrunner? So I think we should probably mention. We should probably mention that. A speedrunner is someone who takes a game and flies through it as quickly as possible. Basically,
using any means necessary, unless you're in a certain bracket, like no glitch percent or whatever.
Yeah, there's various different restrictions and things.
I don't know what do they.
But like, isn't like the world record for Super Mario on the old Game Boy or NES or whatever, like 4 minutes or something, because you can do all the various different little exploits to get to the end quicker. And, you know, using any means necessary, complete the game in the quickest way possible, basically. And that's what Josh does.
Yeah, there's like you have we have these things called categories, which is what Noz was trying to say, which is like so the one you're talking about of Super Mario 64 is the 0-star category, I believe, where they just skip every star and just complete the game in 6 minutes.
Okay.
But then you have like other...
straight, sorry.
Then you have,
I
like,
just saw it on a video
categories.
sometime.
God. Yeah, then you have like other categories, which is like for Super Mario 64, it's just like 120 star, 70 star, 16, etc. But yeah, normally you say like any percent or any percent glitchless and stuff like that. But
okay.
yeah,
that was something that I was gonna. That's one of the questions that I had listed down. Is say somebody wanted to get involved in speedrunning right now. Where would they go? What is there a website that is the best place for all the records and things, or is there a central hub where all the speedrunners go? You know, what would they do?
So previously, for the most part of speedrunning, for like the past 5 years or whatever, the answer would be very complicated. But now it's actually really easy, and people are putting it in chat. It's just speedrun.com.
That's
made
easy.
by one guy.
I like it when things are easy.
It was made by one guy who was inspired because we used to just every community, like the GTA speedrunners, just have a Google Doc with all the best times and all the random information and stuff, but finding it's impossible. So one guy just went, I'll just make a website with everything on it. So you go on there, it's got easy to look at leaderboards, it's got a guide section, forums, Discord links, everything. So yeah, just go there, type your favorite video game into the search bar at the top, wait because the website's pretty laggy because it's really popular, and then click on it and see what there is.
All right, interesting.
But yeah, it's perfect.
And I like what Serenio's just put in the chat. Using every means and glitches to go faster. Who would do that? They said as they care boosted into a break boost. And this is something that I want to touch on later on. Is how speedrunning is so close to racing and specifically hot lapping that we are used to in GTA. So that's something that we'll come on to definitely. But what is it about speedrunning? What is it that that drives you to do it? And do you play games normally?
Yeah, this is the thing, right? So playing games normally now is hard. Okay, so I'll start with why. So I don't actually know. Speedrunning's just fun. It's like, if you want to go back and play like your favorite game, single player or whatever, you play it through once, the story, etc. You can't really play it again unless it's like GTA and you could free roam or whatever. But I don't know. It's just you get to explore games in a different way. You get to learn a lot about them from a technical side if you like programming and stuff. I don't know. People like it for different reasons, really.
Yeah, you can like prove to yourself, it would seem, how proficient you are at that game and how good you are at it. Like, oh, you see someone struggling at one level, you're like, I can do that in literally 5 seconds.
Yeah,
like, all right.
Watching Let's Plays of like San Andreas is hilarious because it's like you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah. You just had to follow the damn trains, CJ, and you're like, yeah.
No, in fact, you actually go on the top of a bridge and on top of a building, and then you jump on the train.
Yeah, we're doing a series.
But yeah, lots of people do it for competitive reasons. Other people do it for fun, like me, because I'm not very good at it. But yeah, it's loads of reasons. Like, what was the other question again?
Do you play games just like as a normal human being?
Yeah. But this is a thing lots of speedrunners get, where you're playing a game and you're thinking about how it works and you're trying to deconstruct everything and you're not actually enjoying it. It's like you can't play. You lose the ability to play games casually. You're trying to like optimize, like min-max everything. It's really horrible, but you can do it. You just have to forget about speedrunning when you do it.
It's interesting. It seems to just completely change the way that you view games. Instead of seeing it as a game like most people do, you're like, as you say, deconstructing everything, just getting it to be as every little detail has to be exactly right, as good as possible. But you said you weren't very good at it. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. So the reason I'm popular, I guess, is because I'm, for some reason, entertaining when I play stuff, and I was like the first to do San Andreas. Um, I had world record for San Andreas while nobody else was running it. Then one other guy came along, took the record from me, and I've never had it since. And it's been many years.
I mean, you can still claim that you had it. I mean, you know, that counts.
Yeah, I mean,
what
uncontested. What
now?
number? Oh God, let me look it up. Hang on. But yeah, I mean,
is it in the 60s, something like that? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's that high. I am 21st in San Andreas.
Oh,
yeah, I'm overestimating how many people run the game.
So yeah, I mean, like Neil Armstrong was the first person to step on the moon. So you can say that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm awful. It's just other people are really, really good and commit.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've been doing San Andreas so long now, I got sick of it, and I do other things. So I have world record in other games like Battle of the Gay Tony 100%, which
yeah, can't wait.
I'm good at that because no one else does it, but it's fine.
What was that?
Man, those pigeons, they gotta go down. Gotta take them all down.
Do any of you watch Critical on or Penguin Zoe is his YouTube channel on YouTube? Did any of you watch him?
It's drawing a blank.
He has like it's more of a comedy base, and there's this one game that he is always speed running. I'm trying to find out what it is, but I would be curious to know what House of Craven is that what it is? House of Caravan. House of Caravan. Have you ever tried speed running House of Caravan?
I don't know what that is. Let me look it up.
Me neither. I just love the video of him yelling at people that try to beat his record in the nonsense game that's deep on Steam.
And he's probably the only person who's ever done it, right?
Well, someone keeps trying to beat him.
Okay.
It's one of these games. The world record is 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Someone said in the chat the Pokemon Yellow world record is 0 seconds. Like there's some glitch or something that just gets you to the end screen immediately.
Yeah, the old Pokemon games, they have a lot of categories that are like, don't break the entire game, please. Because it's like, you start the game, you save, and halfway through saving, you turn the Game Boy off, which corrupts the save. You load the save, and then you have more than the maximum number of items, and it like scrolls into RAM, and you're literally just editing code, moving stuff around. And then you do some stuff, press a button, and then your character walks into the Hall of Fame, and you did it in 0 minutes.
Wow. That's why speedrunning is special. Stuff like that.
Yeah. These little glitches that you find and tricks.
Well, I wouldn't call that one little.
Well, yeah,
that's
true.
Game
Yeah.
breaking.
How big is speedrunning on the great scheme of things? Like, how big is the community? And are there like some games that are more popular than others to speedrun? I imagine the Pokemon games are relatively popular for speedrunning, but is there only a certain amount of games that are very popular, and then outside of that, speedrunning in general for most games isn't really there, or is it small in general as a community, or how is it?
So for larger games, like you say, like right now, if I go on speedrunner.com, the most active, however it's filtering that, is Super Mario Odyssey, and then there's Getting Over It and all this other stuff. But I mean, you can speedrun a game and you'd be surprised how many other people are interested to do it as well. Like a while ago, for a joke, I did a speedrun of Gone Home. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's just like
I played that.
It's just
on my second channel.
It's just a walk.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, it's good. That's why I did a run of it. But it's like, it's just a walking simulator. So the speedrun is literally you walk, grab the key under the duck, walk in, you glitch through a door, grab the key there, go to the attic, and finish the game. And it takes like 48 seconds. And I posted that as a joke. Didn't think anyone would care. But then if I go on Gone Home on speedrun.com right now, there's like
sure, 1 million people are trying to beat that.
75 people.
Oh man!
And the devs actually watched me do it at the time because they just released the game, and they actually added achievements into the game, and a lot of them are like beat the game in under a minute and stuff like that. And so there's a load of them that are like beat the game in under a minute for the achievement on PS4, and people just submitted it to the leaderboard.
That's amazing, because when I played Gone Home, I looked at the achievements afterwards. I don't know why, I never really normally do, but someone might have mentioned it in the chat that, there's an achievement for completing the game in under a minute. And I was like, complete the game in under a minute. And then I'd obviously looked it up and figured and saw how it was done, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so clever. I didn't realize that wasn't originally in the game until you'd done that speedrun. That's crazy.
It's such a weird thing. But there was also they also the diaries that you pick up where you like hear the girl talk. There's like 20 of them or something in the game, but I didn't know this because one of them's hidden. So I was doing 100% speedruns where I got all the diaries, and then the devs came into my chat and said, "Hey Josh, that's not everything." So then me and my stream had to hunt for this one hidden diary, and I actually went to bed in the end. But one of my viewers kept on streaming afterwards, and the devs were in the chat, and they actually unraveled. They looked into the Unity code because it's a Unity game. And they found the hidden diary is just the first diary, but the girl says meow for every word. And you have to take this basketball, which is hidden in this rafter above the kitchen. You throw like a milk bottle or something at it. It falls down. You take the basketball, put it in a basketball hoop, and then you get this hidden diary. So then people are doing runs of that.
What?
Jesus. That kind of games have that. Like, you wonder how many games have Easter eggs in games are nothing new, but how many of them go undiscovered over the years?
Like a COD Zombies map trying to do the Easter egg or something. You got to be here and do this. Throw this over here.
A couple of years ago, I guess it was, when someone finally realized when they were playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out that when one dude ducked in the crowd at that same exact second, you were supposed to duck and then you could beat the guy in one punch.
It was
and that was like 25 years after it came out or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, it's
this
amazing.
One for there was this one for Wind Waker I saw where there's like a boss fairly on in the start of the game, and if you take like some spirit water to it, 'cause there's like a plant, an evil plant. You could take like the spirit water, you pour it on it, and it just instantly died. And nobody knew about it for like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, San Andreas, you said, was your most played game.
Yeah.
Is GTA in general like a franchise that you play a lot more than other things? You mentioned Baldur's Gate Tony.
Yeah.
What are your most played games like as of right now? What would you say?
Yeah, it is definitely the GTA games. It's like before I started streaming, I was like a minor GTA fan. Like I'd played every GTA game because I liked them. But obviously, when I started streaming it, everyone knows me as the GTA guy. And when GTA 5's coming out, oh, it's set in San Andreas. Josh, you must love this sort of thing, right? But yeah, it is. I would say the most played games now are GTA games. Yeah.
And have you done a speedrun for all of them, going all the way back to GTA 1, or how far back does it go?
So I haven't done the 2D ones. But early on, I did GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas in one sitting as like a race with a load of other people. Yeah. GTA 3 is not fun if you've never played it before because you can lock yourself out of progress and there's lots of traps and stuff and the game's really stupid.
Yeah, you've talked about not liking GTA 3 before.
Yeah, I hate that game because of my terribly... I mean, it's my own fault, right? I went into it trying to do it as fast as possible and I knew nothing about it, so I only have myself to blame. But I've done GTA 4 and the expansions. Like, I really like Gay Tony, I do that a lot. But I've never done GTA 5 because when it finally came out on PC, because I don't have consoles, I played through the single player and I just couldn't stand it. But I did do speedruns of online. Like, I did speedruns of heists with people because that's like an interesting co-op speedrun, right? And we used your spreadsheet, Ruffy, for like which cars we should use and stuff.
Oh, really? Is that how these things?
What car do you end up using at that time?
The Kuruma, right?
The armored Kuruma for a bit of it, but there were some bikes we used as well. God, I don't remember anymore.
Probably the body, if I had to guess. The body or the Akuma.
Well, that's crazy how worlds collide like that. I'm just off in my own world testing vehicles for how quick they are, and you don't realize it has other applications outside of just racing. You know, speedrunning is a legitimate thing where you need to know how quick the cars are, what's the best car to use, and I guess even as getting down into it, sort of curb boosting and all this kind of stuff, that as the racing community found these things, that again, speedrunners, it has applications to that. And
we learned of curb boosting because of your videos and stuff, and we have actually used it from there. Yeah,
that's crazy.
that is crazy.
You can speedrun anything. I never even thought that you would be able to speedrun GTA Online. It seemed like a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great because you're at the mercy of Rockstar servers for load times, but it's fun. It's not like very serious, but yeah, you can speedrun anything with a goal, I guess.
Funny enough, we the second time I did Criminal Mastermind on Xbox One with Sean and Crazy Man and those guys. It's on my second channel. I just did
Blue-Eyed Malice.
Blue-Eyed Malice, that was it. Yeah, I did one stream of like 7 hours or something of just the entire thing in one go, and it turned out that at the time we had like the record for the Criminal Mastermind challenge at that point. I don't think anybody and like very few people had actually submitted something, but it's interesting. I'm pretty sure people have been there a lot quicker now, but back then, you get
not too many people have done it because that's like really stressful. If you're trying to do stuff as fast as possible, you mess up with a team and you have to start the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the record for Criminal Mastermind is currently 3 hours 41 right now.
What? How is that even possible? I need to see a video.
That's not possible. That loading time,
ridiculous.
I think you can I know for Prison Break, can't you land the plane in the prison or something and pick up Fresh Koski somehow?
There's 3 hours of loading time. There's no way that's what?
I can't even.
They would have started doing the heists individually, learning them all and doing them for ages. Because I moderate for GTA Online at the time, so I was verifying all their runs and stuff. So I was watching them learn, and then they just come out of nowhere and submit this, and it was like, oh, okay, that's pretty fast.
But now, for something like that, would you include the load times and connecting and everything, or just the missions themselves?
No, you do the load times as well. You include that.
That's remarkable.
That's
I don't know how.
Does it say what platform?
The load times, probably PC. Yeah, PC. But if a game's on PC, you play it on PC with speedruns because SSDs and stuff are overpowered. But yeah, it's if you play in a private lobby with just 4 people, the load times are fairly decent for all of you. But I can't remember how to optimize it. But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
And as you say, you're still at the mercy of Rockstar servers. If they do one thing and it takes forever, then the whole thing's ruined. I still can't believe that 3 hours. You can post that link again, by the way, in the chat.
Oh, sure.
But
sorry,
I can't believe that. Criminal. I can't. I can't
even get my mind around it.
It makes no sense to me.
Like an hour and a half is one heist for me. Jeez.
Oh, no. Okay. So
yeah, and me and Wayno, who's in the chat, we had world record for Fleeker at one point, where we were just driving each other insane, just doing it over and over again, and one of us makes a tiny mistake, and then we were doing it for 5 hours in the summer, and we were both just getting delirious in the heat. It's awful.
Since we're on the topic of GTA Online now and all that kind of stuff, we are going to talk about how it has speedrunning is similar to racing and stuff. But how much of GTA Online do you actually play now? And do you do anything in GTA Online as just a normal game, or is it everything that you do within that game is speedrunning related?
Well, I think I remember I've watched a few of these as research, and you agree with me. When I played a few years ago, I've given up now. We didn't play normally. We're speedrunners. We use glitches. So I think you can see where I'm going with this. We had a lot of money. All of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we were Wayno loved doing fashion glitches. There's a glitch you can do to keep your the duffel bag on you at all times and get police clothes and stuff like that. Yeah, we loved all that stuff. But yeah, I haven't played it in ages. I just got sick of it.
fashion.
I mean,
Every update.
My personal thoughts about glitches have definitely changed since the game first came out.
My god, yeah.
When the game first released, I was like, don't glitch the game. It's just going to make it terrible for everybody. And now it's like, have at it, do whatever you want.
It's wrong. Now you're just like, what's the next glitch? What can I do?
But we'll not delve into that conversation again.
No.
I mean, but when you were talking about how you look at speedrunners in general, look at games differently than I guess people that just regularly play games, because you're looking deliberately at ways to I'm gonna say break the game. You basically break the game and beating it in a way that's not necessarily by the books. And how do you guys even find these? Because I'll be on GTA, not really that much anymore, and a new glitch will come out. It's like, oh, you gotta have $20 in your pocket and call a cab and have Franklin in single player down at the coffee shop, and then you gotta unplug your controller and do all this, and then you'll get $1 billion. Like, how does someone figure that out? How do you figure out how you cut through a wall in a level or something like that?
So yeah, this is a really common question, and I can understand it, because you're going from the perspective of seeing nothing to insanity, and you don't see the process behind it, right? So let me give an example that I know better the story behind. So in San Andreas and the other 3D games, we have this thing called mission duplication, or duping for short, where the game has like a single boolean on-off switch, as you could call it, for like whether you're on a mission or not. So if you're not on a mission, there's like icons on the map and stuff. Like you're in free roam, right? You can start any mission you want and do that. As soon as you start a mission, it flips the switch to on mission, and you can't start other missions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a way to manipulate. I won't get into details, but there's a way to manipulate that switch to make it think you're not on a mission when you are. So you can start like multiple missions, which lets you do lots of other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But like getting to this point and like knowing which missions crash if you do that and which missions skip other missions, it looks insane. But if you know the history, so like we started with the very first mission duplication in San Andreas was by mistake. Like, I got a girlfriend phone call at the exact same time I walked into a marker, which changed it. And then there's this other quarry missions. Their marker things, the little red circly things, are programmed different to other ones, because Rockstar, I guess. And if you walk into that at the same time you get a normal phone call, you can just walk into it again and again and again and again, etc. And by then, like, using that knowledge, we can learn, oh, the phone calls are breaking missions, and then we can like build up from that, etc. This example isn't going as well as I thought, but you get the idea.
No, it's a gradual process of discovery and then building on top of that. Yeah,
it is like putting puzzle pieces together. Like, you learn about one random glitch, you're like, oh, that'd never be useful, but then later you find the puzzle piece that fits next to that one, and it's like, oh god, this makes sense. And then you end up with I'm gonna probably blow your minds now. You end up with a Vice City any%, which is let me look this up. Vice City. I don't want to get this wrong, otherwise people will shower at me.
I'm not ready for
Speedrun.com. Speedrun.com lags out as soon as I need it.
I swallow my liquid before.
I'm ready for this. It's going to be something ridiculous.
Your favorite game, bruv.
Give me your guesses.
Yeah.
How long do you think Vice
I wouldn't
City
want to
is?
play it quick. I wouldn't want to do it in like 2 seconds. Screw it. It's the beauty of the game. I want to experience it. I'm still not ready for how quick it's going to be.
I'm going to say 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
It's very specific.
Okay. Speedrun.com's down, never mind.
Of course. We're not going to get any resolution to this.
I'll keep working on it, but it's very
cliffhangers,
fast.
man. Jesus.
It's very fast and it's fantastic because you have to I don't even know how it works. Okay, it's 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm not that impressed. That impressed, man.
Yeah. You just set the bar too low.
That is still crazy. That's the worst, when someone tells you to take a guess and then they like either overshoot it by a ton or undershoot it. You're like, well, now it's not as cool.
Alright, I linked it in the chat. But yeah, you like you start the game you stand around. This is probably isn't quite in order, but you stand around for about 3 minutes doing nothing, and then you make a replay. Like you can save like
the
on
good old
PC version,
replays.
you can save replays. Yeah. So you save a replay of you 3 minutes after the game starts. Then you start a new game, and then you do some things, and then you use that replay of you 3 minutes into the future to break some sort of timer thing, and then rob a store, and then kill the guy, and then stand an exact amount of distance away from it, wait an exact amount of frames, and then start a vigilante as soon as the guy respawns, as well as watching a replay at the same time. And then if you hit exactly the right frame, the game just ends and you're at the end of the game.
What?
Yeah, my explanation sucks, but it's something like that. Yeah.
That's
so
crazy. That's
what?
insane.
It's just like you're just calling a random bit of code in the script. It's called script stack underflow. I don't know what it means exactly. But you're like underflowing something in the script, and it calls a random part of another mission, which just happens to be the last mission, and it ends.
What?
Oh my God.
Interesting. That sounds like similar to the Mew glitch back on old gen, how you used to get Mew. I remember those days. But I looked into that. I read up on that. It was all the same sort of like you could do for it. It was the games are complex creatures. Nos.
My God.
You've been very quiet.
I have. You've been asking questions. You've been getting
starstruck.
I have a question for you.
Oh, do you?
Have you done any speedrunning since you're in? You know, you've been watching Josh for a while.
I've thought about it because I actually thought about it recently because Josh, I saw your. It was like 4 years ago. It was a long time ago. I saw your Undead Nightmare speedrun.
Oh, okay.
You did a couple of Undead because I'm a big Red Dead fan, and like Red Dead Redemption, I think would be a bit too long to get started with. But Undead Nightmare was like just over an hour or so.
Yeah.
8%. And that seemed like something that could easily be gotten into. And I started because I played Red Dead's Online a lot. And there were a lot of glitches in there. So I was watching back your playthrough, and you were talking about the whole, like, the flying glitches with the Molotovs and the throwing knives. It was taking me back. So.
Yeah. I actually have a funny story with the Red Dead Online guys. So there's like a glitch in online to become completely invincible, and there's other glitches that let you run really fast and stuff like that. The online guys are all assholes and don't tell you. There's no like, speedrunning's really open. If someone finds a glitch, they explain it to everyone. Nobody hides stuff, right? But the online community is really different, and they all shut off, and they don't want to share glitches with anyone not their friends.
I want my rapid-fire buffalo rifle. I don't need you to have one. That would be dangerous.
It makes sense, right? Because you're fighting against each other. But for like me now, like researching this stuff like 5 years after the game's dead, it's really frustrating because I can see these glitches, and it's just like I want to do them, but they don't explain and show how to do it. It's like I know you can become invincible somehow, and that sounds really useful, but I don't know how to do it, and they just hide stuff. And I messaged one of them at one point, and I think he just told me to go F myself or something.
Classic online community of any game.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I know there's more to be found in Red Dead, but I just don't
there's all kind. There's using the like stagecoaches as boats to like.
Oh yeah.
You can do that if you want to get to like West Elizabeth at the beginning of the game. You just take a little stagecoach over to Montana Ford and put it in there, and you jump across. Like, it's super easy. Yeah.
I like what Serenio put in the chat. Oh, gee, that totally doesn't sound like GTA Racing when new stuff is found.
How do you break boost? I'm not telling you.
I'm quicker for it. That's how it is. Like I've always been on that, like I guess the speed running community side of things, where I would prefer if I find something, I just want everybody to know about it. Everybody should share everybody else, and then everybody's on a level playing field, and it just makes everybody better.
It also makes the actual glitches better because you combine knowledge and find new things and stuff.
Absolutely.
It's annoying.
But obviously you have super uber competitive types in everything, where if something is found, they'll keep it to themselves and use it.
And there's also the possibility that the developer will see that and be like, oh, thanks for bringing that to our attention. We're going to get rid of that now. Yeah. Like the gate launch glitches in GTA. Like those would have been better off if no one had seen them. Like,
Yeah.
a few people had
basically
known
all
about
the
them.
fun glitches that have ever existed in GTA
Yeah.
Online that Rockstar decided to remove.
Well, that's another difference between speedruns and online stuff, is that you're normally speedrunning old stuff and the devs don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But online it's different. Like, yeah, they patch it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm guessing the whole... Has speedrunning changed as the years have gone by with the advent of new games having more downloadable stuff, patches, things like that? Is it very much still just based on old games, and you can't do it as much with new games, or do you have things involved in the setup that you have within the speedrunning community to deal with when there's a new patch or something changed?
It really comes down to a game by game basis.
Yeah. Well, we were
every
talking about
community
this before the show too with Prey.
Yeah.
Like, for instance.
Every community handles it different. It depends. The speedrunning community is really like fragmented and segmented into our own little mini communities. Like the GTA community doesn't really communicate with the Super Mario 64 community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all sort of do things a little differently. But yeah, with newer games, people still speedrun them because people want to. They like new games. But with patches, it does become an issue. But there's lots of ways around it. Like console, like 360 and PS3, you can always unpatch a game if you have the disc, and you can just not connect to online. Like I haven't updated my Fricks 360 in like 10 years or something. I don't know anymore. In a very long time.
Yeah, you could play like the base games without patches. Yeah.
Yeah. The Steam is a bit of an issue because that auto updates now. But there's like, if you know your way around Steam DB and like vague hacking stuff, you can
don't give yourself away. Don't let them know.
But then other games they have categories, so it's like, okay, so everything done on this patch is this category, this leaderboard, and this patch is a different leaderboard and stuff, and then you get the problem of someone finding the patch no one's done a run of and claiming world record for it, but that's another issue. But yeah, it's like newer games, DLC and pre-order bonuses and servers being shut down and stuff like that, it is becoming an issue. I don't know if it will survive into the free-to-play kind of world that we're heading towards.
Yeah, gaming has changed a lot in the last few years and is looking set to
go.
continue even
Here
more.
We go.
I'm not going to start going on a rant about it. I'm just making a point.
Get your rant gear on.
Live services, as they're called now, they're not games anymore. They're live services. All right, that's it. I'm done. All right, let's move on to how speedrunning is similar to GTA racing, but not racing as racing against other people that we do mostly within our little part of racing, but specifically hot lapping, because with speedrunning, you guys have, set markers, right? I've seen it on your streams and other speedrunning streams where you have markers that you get your split times for when you reach a certain point, and you note that down. You know whether you're ahead, you're below, things like that. And that's exactly the same as what people do when they're trying to get a fast lap on a track. There's certain points, they'll hit 3 sectors around a track. If it's a long track, there's, multiple sectors where you know whether you're up or down on your ultimate record. And then all these people who are going for, world records of tracks are doing exactly the same thing as what people who are going for world records with speedrunning as well. And something that I think bridges the gap more so than anything else is what we saw recently with Serenio doing the Gfred speedrunning. 24 hours of Gfred she did on that stream. But the purpose was to get the world record for Gfred. And she had it set up like a speedrunning system with the split times and things like that. I think Baron helped her with doing that. And that in particular, that's a GTA race, albeit quite an obscure one in comparison to regular races. But it's that crossing that bridge into speedrunning and the two worlds colliding. It's pretty crazy. So my question to Josh is: you ever going to speedrun Gfred?
Maybe. Wow. I mean, what that sounds like to me, we have a term for this in speedrunning. It's called IL, or individual level. And I actually did do GTA Online, the missions, you know, the little missions menu you can get with like a little tiny
missions,
thing. Yeah, the contact missions, that's it. And I did like, we have like a leaderboard of like every single one of those and the best time recorded for it. And I like went off and just set a load of times for all of those. But yeah, it sounds a lot like that. I mean, maybe you say like the splits are set out the same way in speedrunning as they are in racing, but I think the idea literally comes from like racing, right? We took that. Yeah. Whoever made it just took it from that.
I mean, it's been a thing in racing since, you know, the 50s or whatever, 40s when they started racing, you know. So I guess it's natural that when you're trying to go for something as quickly as possible, you want to have an indication of how well you're doing to that goal. I find it fascinating because a lot of the things that you've been saying throughout the course of just this podcast earlier on, I should have noted all these things down as you were saying them, but a lot of the things you've been saying, if you were to replace the fact that you were talking about speedrunning and instead think, and anyone who's watching this, you know, on the video or wants to go back and try to watch and replace the speedrunning with just racing, it's exactly the same conversation that we can have.
Yeah. And,
you know, like earlier with the hiding of secrets and things like that, and finding the little glitches that make you go faster and all that kind of stuff. It's remarkable how close they are, but they are in the same, you know, it's the same concept. You're going as fast as possible.
Because Lewis Hamilton, he just knocked a basketball out of a rafter with a milk bottle and won all those F1 races, right? That's how he did it.
Well, something like that, I thought.
Kidding, right?
Well, yeah, something like that. I thought, like, if you found a shortcut on a track, it's the same idea. If you found a shortcut that, you know, might allow you to miss out a few corners, then you take it and you do the track quicker, and then it's up to the creator of the track to fix that.
Well, that's general human progress, isn't it? Yeah. Just trying to.
It's also like it sounds like to me like the building of the car. Like you discover aerodynamics or ground effect or whatever, right? Like it's literally it is the same thing. It's like the preparation towards the race, which is routing in speedrunning or making a car or like exercising or whatever in real life. And then the actual racing itself, which is, you know, trying to go as fast as possible. It is really similar. It also helps I'm a racing fan as well. So
okay, so you like racing outside of, I mean, I'm guessing you don't do much GTA racing, but do you play other racing games? And then are you a fan of like motorsport in general?
Yeah, I watch F1 British Touring Car Cup sometimes.
Finally, we've got someone who likes racing. My two co-hosts are useless. I tried to have a Bruffy's Racing Corner for so long. Don't look at your phone.
What?
Finally.
I mean, it's not a common thing in speedrunning. I think it's just a coincidence. I also like it.
Right, yeah.
But
it's not a great, you know, leap, I suppose.
Yeah. But I mean, I've played like iRacing and Gran Turismo and stuff like that. But I actually have done GTA races back when I played GTA Online. Just the awful queue, just praying the other guy turns catch up on.
Yeah.
Oh my so God.
Back in the day,
like leading the whole race, and you could just hear your engine go.
So stupid.
Like no.
Yeah. That's the dumbest thing in the entire world. Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking. God,
it's awful.
Speaking of random races, I had a race full of randoms on Cunning Coroner's GP as I was testing cars. Keep an eye out on random bits for that footage. That was interesting.
Oh, really?
The lobby just happened to fill up. It was crazy. But yeah, that'll make its way to random bits.
But yeah, in another crossover-y thing, I also just recently revived my MTA server. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, San Andreas.
It's a multiplayer mod for San Andreas. It's exactly the same as 5M, just a bit more advanced because it's been out for way longer. But yeah, I have like one of those servers, and it is just all cars all the time, like racing and destruction derby. So yeah, I kind of GTA race, kind of.
Yeah.
So I wanna see you do Gfred at some point. This is something that has to come from this podcast. Because
I mean,
it takes a lot of learning, but once you get it,
really, does it?
I think so.
I don't even know how to do it.
The first time you ever do Gfred
record, and I'll do exactly that.
Yeah,
Well,
you just have to watch it. But the world record for Gfred has, like, it's become a thing, and it's gone gradually lower and lower and lower and lower, and we found new tricks, you know, using a parachute at the end was one of them, swimming with a scuba suit has become a new thing. Like, all these tricks that have gone into it, Serenio is currently the world record holder. What do you mean, really?
Like, that's a thing now? You swim with a scuba suit and it makes you faster?
Yeah. It's much quicker.
Much faster.
You're right. It does just sound like speedrunning. Like,
it is. It's the perfect crossover between racing in GTA and speedrunning. I guess GTA. But
yeah, I assume it's some really awful, horrible, boring map, right? I don't know what it is.
It's a cross map race basically. It's like a cannonball run style race, where you go from one checkpoint in the north of the map, then the bottom. It takes about half an hour. Well, no, the world record's 20 minutes.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Well,
it used to take 20
like
odd so minutes, but now the world record's like 18 minutes or something, which is crazy.
Okay. Well, I'm actually surprisingly probably the perfect person for the job because I have crazy patience for that sort of thing. There was one time I was watching this thing on YouTube about someone who made like a tool-assisted speedrun of GTA 3. I won't explain what that is, but basically they were hacking the game, right? And they used the dodo in GTA 3, you know, that thing that you could barely fly. And there's this mission where you have to destroy these little stool things, the hot coffee stools or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
But instead of driving there, throwing a grenade, getting back in the car, driving away, this guy just like used a dodo and he flew a dodo from the airport, took off, hit them from the top with the landing gear, bounced off of it, and hit every single one of them in sequence like that. And no one had ever done it like as a human without cheating. And I was just like, I'm gonna do that. So I just started streaming like randomly, and for 5 hours, I don't even like GTA 3, but for 5 hours I was trying to fly this dodo. I managed to hit 3 stalls, and then I finally gave up after 5 hours. So yeah, I mean, I could probably do it.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're like because I am super stubborn as well. So if something like that comes, like the closest thing I come to speedrunning, which isn't even speedrunning, is Trials. I like Trials. You know that game.
Yeah.
And so
I used to like Trials.
There's one person on Xbox that Print Coast. If he watches this, he probably won't. But that we always try to one up each other up until the point that we're in like the top 100 in the world in certain races that we're just like, I need to beat your time. And we're so stubborn that we'll spend hours on end just trying to beat each other. So I understand where you're coming from, trying to just skip over coffee houses in a flightless plane. Jesus.
There's that inbuilt thing in all of us, I suppose. Because, I mean, back on GTA 4, me and Tony used to be exactly the same as what you've just described there. With the racers back on GTA 4, he would get a better lap time on one of the races, and then I would go and get a better lap time on one of the races, and it would just be a constant thing. And then, like you did, we ended up like in the top 100, 200 on the leaderboards, and it's like, how far do you take that? You know, you could take it even, you know, to the point of getting these world records. Yeah.
That's how speedrunning starts, I suppose. You just need one person to go set some times, like with those GTA missions, those GTA Online missions. One person, and then someone else says, you know.
That's it.
I'll have to research this, make a route, and give it a shot when I come back from Sweden the next week.
That would be interesting if the route changes. If you somehow find speedrunner extraordinaire finds a brand new route that brings it down to 15 minutes or something. It's like I remember back when the world record was around 20 minutes, and it was like, nah, it's never getting below 20 minutes. And then it got to 19 minutes, and then 18 minutes, and now it's 17 minutes. It's like
that's what happens in speedruns. It's like you look at this game, it's like this can't possibly get any faster, and then like a year's time it's like an hour faster. It's the same thing.
It's the parachute line on Gfred. When you I'm sure you look up just a world record run of it if you want to see, but at the very end there's a parachute line, and when that was found, that just blew my mind, because theoretically that could have been done since Gfred was created. I mean, the scuba suit is something new, but that could have been done from the start. And when somebody found that and just posted on a comment, and then somebody did it, and it was like, this is unbelievable. It shaved like 30 seconds off the time, or some 50 seconds back then. It was and it just blew my mind of how crazy that race in particular can be. And then it's the same with all these speedruns and games. So.
Yeah. I mean, you say it's like a thing that was always there and was never added. For most speedruns, everything has always been there. It's like they don't add any more content. You just someone finds this weird little thing, and it's like the game becomes more than what it was with the glitches. Right.
And how much of it is luck, do you think?
Like,
RNG.
Yeah.
It's all RNG. Everything's RNG.
Even Gfred World Records are RNG based.
Yeah, you do things with the intention of getting them done, but then you don't usually have them happen, and then you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, how'd that happen? Oh my God, I'm so happy. Yeah, I understand. I see where you're coming from.
Damn it. I was just about to ask something then relating to that, and I've lost it.
Good job.
Every episode, you lose your thought.
Well, you said you were going to Sweden this weekend. Why? Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, should we get the plugging out of the way?
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
we're an hour in.
Might as well. We're about to go into regular segments or something.
Okay.
Are we?
I've got a topic we want to talk about before that.
I do too. So,
all right, we got 2 topics to talk about. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, anyway, to get this over with, because I hate this, when as soon as this podcast ends, I'm going to bed, and then I'm going to wake up at 2 a.m., get on a plane, and go to Sweden for ESA. It stands for European Speedrunner Assembly. It's we're doing our first ever winter event. So a lot of speedrunners get together in Sweden. We all do some runs, and I'm one of the people helping host, which is like reading donations and stuff. And I'm also doing Gay Tony 100% in it on the second day.
Nice.
Very good.
So, yeah,
good
so if you
indeed.
want to watch that, it's twitch.tv/just ESA, I hope. And if you Google ESA winter schedule, you can find a website. It translates all the times to your local zone. You can see any game on there you want to watch, and whole backlog of games. And it's better than GDQ. Stop watching GDQ and watch ESA. There we go.
yeah, there you go. Good.
Is that... I'm not familiar with speedrunning at all, or the community, but I think it was around Thanksgiving. My cousins are big into video games and stuff. I mean, obviously I am too, but they're a little bit bigger into it than I am. And he brought up this Twitch channel that was speedrunning for charity.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that was AGDQ you were watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
So GDQ, or it's like AGDQ in the winter and SGDQ in the summer.
Okay.
Is like what everyone. Surely you all have heard of it, like Noz and Bruff, right?
It rings a bell. Those letters.
I've watched it. I've watched it. And
so it's like go on.
Oh, well, okay. I'll go. Shut up.
All right, go.
I was going to say, like, opinions, there are many different opinions about GDQ, and many, there's problems that people notice, and things that are not handled correctly. But whether, no matter the problems, I think it's easy to admit that GDQ is doing a job. I don't know, a good job, but it's definitely bringing speedrunning more to the forefront. Because those marathon runs are fun to watch. They are fun to watch, regardless of the rules that may be imposed on the speedrunners, or whether what they can do and not do, and all kinds of other silliness that I've seen.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I still think it can be fun to watch. But,
yeah, I mean,
and it is doing a good job of bringing it more to the forefront. But once you get on an individual level of speedrunners, I think it's so much better. Watching
it kind of like a
speedrunner playing their game, that's it was really entertaining.
Is it equivalent to a Rockstar live stream about crew v crew battle racing compared to an actual crew v crew battle racing? Is that what we're talking here?
No, I mean it's like, okay, so it's an event where a load of speedrunners get together and they go to a place. The problem is it has become extremely popular. Like, it gets hundreds of thousands of views on Twitch every bi-yearly event, and it brings in like millions of dollars for charity and stuff, and the whole gaming sphere is always talking about it, and it's great, and it really raises awareness of speedrunning. There's several problems with it. I don't want to get into it, but one problem is the viewership doesn't translate at all. Everybody just watches GDQ, and they watch runs from people that do really good runs and stuff, and then they don't watch their channel. I know, because I know a few people that have gone to it, and they just have no channel growth at all.
Which is a shame.
GDQ. Yeah, it's not GDQ's fault. It's just how it is. But yeah, it's become like, if you mention speedrunning, people are like GDQ, and everyone's always like, to me, Josh, hey, when are you going to GDQ and stuff like that. But there's a lot of internal political problems with it that I won't delve into. But yeah, it's just like it's become like there's other marathons like ESA that I go to that just have the same production value but absolutely nowhere near the viewership.
And they deserve it. They certainly.
Yeah, and there's lots of other ones that are really good as well that are the same, but it's just become like the Mr. Boss of speedrunning. It's like everybody knows that one guy, right?
Yeah.
But nobody knows everyone else who does all the other stuff that's is just as good, right? So yeah, it's just
I think Kava has put it pretty well there in chat too. That GDQ is a charity event with speedruns, and ESA is a speedrun event that does charity.
Yeah, that's another thing. They actually got bought by the Prevent Cancer Foundation, so now they are a professional charity fundraising event and not a speedrunning event anymore. But that's just growth pains, and I think that was inevitable. But yeah, the other problems are what's a problem.
Okay. I remembered what I was wanting to ask earlier that I forgot.
Good.
Oh, like an hour ago?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
The title of this podcast is the Chalky Hazard Podcast. What have you had any significant chokes when it comes to speedrunning, and what's your best?
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to prepare for this, but I was going to find my best chokes, and now I forgot about it. Yeah, choking is a common thing in speedruns. Like, you know, if you're doing like hour-long runs, you start out, everything's fine, you're casual and stuff, but when you get towards the end, you know, your heart's racing, you're like, oh god, I need to finish this, and things happen. I'm sure some people can, probably people that watch me can post like what their best choke of me is. I don't remember them, but I've had plenty.
Limo gets posted in the chat fairly often.
Limo flip. Yeah, okay, limo flip, yes. So I was on world record pace for the first time in ages in San Andreas. This wasn't really a choke. I mean, a police bike drove in front of me, and I have this limo with like two guys I need to take to a place in it. And I hit the police bike, and the limo flips, like does a backflip, perfectly lands on its back, and it catches fire, right? And then I get out, and I'm like, oh god, please, idiot friends, like don't die to the explosion. Admittedly, I made a mistake, and I got into a car, which makes them try to get into the car slowly. If you just run, they just run away from the explosion. But yeah, they died, and I lost like 4 minutes something. And then Taduva, who's in chat, kept world record because of that one thing.
Jeez.
That's quite a choke.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I can imagine. Just like with racing, you get them all the time.
Yeah.
The topic that I wanted to bring up is something that's been talked about this week, is the idea that Google are planning to make a gaming console. All right. Anyone heard this news?
Nope, and I don't want to hear it. Sounds... Come on, man. What do you need?
I heard it.
Our producer hears all the news. But the difference with it is that it's theoretically, this is all just rumor, going to be, you know, cloud-based gaming. You know, like PlayStation Now is right now. Where
because that's a great experience. Let me tell you about PlayStation Now.
This is what we're going to get into, right?
Have you heard about input lag?
Exactly.
No?
Exactly. But a lot of people
leak my nudes, man.
A lot of people are saying that this is potentially like the future of gaming. It's going to be the new thing where you play. It's like Netflix, say, where you pay a subscription service and you just play the game, but you don't actually have any hardware to play the game. But you know, lag and latency is a big thing. Input lag is a huge thing. You know, you're going to have to. If it's going to be a few years down the road when people are saying all this, obviously, but even then, the internet speeds and things like that are just not going to be there, I don't think, personally. But can you imagine how that would apply to speedrunning? to play a game that's being played on a system miles away that you have to do through the internet, and your inputs on the controller are getting sent through the internet and then back at you and then how that would affect us with racing as well, you know, trying to control a car with all the inherent lag involved across the internet, and then, you know, FPS games. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's awful. Because I played my 100% Red Dead Redemption playthrough for my channel was on PlayStation Now.
Okay, I forgot about that. I want to hear your experiences with it.
Oh, the input lag is so bad, and we're working on the PS3, which was by far the inferior system to play Red Dead Redemption on at the start. I don't know what resolution it is. It is not HD. It has terrible input lag. The video has to be sent to you at a certain bit rate, I imagine, which affects the video quality in such a negative way. It's just awful. It was awful. Like, I had to struggle through it because I did not... at that time, I only had one PC. I didn't have a capture card or anything to play it on my 360, so I got it on PlayStation Now, and it was awful. Like, I mean, I still love the game. I still enjoyed it, and I'm still so happy that I was able to use PlayStation Now to give this experience to the people who watch, because still to this day, that's the best thing I've ever done on my channel.
For you guys.
Yeah, but it was awful. It was awful to play, and I hated. I hated that I had to have that experience reliving Red Dead with the input lag and just.
And I can't imagine how we're ever going to get to a point where that will work correctly. It's like Khalib says in the chat, so like Twitch plays. That's the kind of level of lag that we're talking about.
That's similar, yeah.
But Pedro said, isn't Xbox Game Pass and EA Access like Netflix, where you rent a game but you download it instead? Xbox Game Pass is different because you pay a subscription service and then you download the game and you play it on your system. Whereas PlayStation Now, you have the game is running elsewhere and you're just streaming your gameplay and you're sending your information of inputs on the controller to some system that's playing it, and then you're waiting for the lag, you know, waiting for the view to come back at you, which is more akin to Netflix in the way that it streams. You know, you don't download stuff offline and watch it offline on Netflix. Maybe you can, I don't know, but mostly it's used as a streaming, you know, you watch it as you're downloading it, and this would be what that is. But I can see the benefits of a Netflix style subscription for games, like what Xbox are trying to do with the Game Pass. If you just pay, you know, $10-15 a month or whatever, and you get access to all the games that you want to play, then for how long you're subscribed, then I can see the benefits of that. But that is only when you're actually downloading it and have it on your system and you're playing it in front of you. I just can't see us getting to ever a point where internet speeds are good enough around the world to be able to support cloud gaming. And
No.
No way.
There we go. That's
so I've been reading into this. I have a few questions. Are they just, when they say they're testing hardware, do they mean a console?
It would be. I think it's essentially going to be a streaming, you know, box. It's not going to be a full-on console with hardware in it, graphics and CPU and all that.
So like we have a Roku stick that we stream television, Netflix from, like that pretty much for gaming.
Like an Apple TV.
Yeah.
I could see the applications casually, like for casual things, but like not real video games.
If you're playing Tetris,
you know, Google owns like Android, right? So would they just do Android games with this, or are they making like a new
Candy Crush? Oh my God.
Are they making a new operating system to this? Because I owned Ouya, and I can tell you,
you owned Ouya.
I owned an Ouya, yes.
Wow.
I could probably...
My friend has an Ouya.
We are speaking to a Ouya owner.
That was short-lived, wasn't it?
It was for programming at university, all right? I didn't get it for any other reason.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little better.
But like I reckon they'd probably just use Android, and then it's just for casuals, like on the TV, right? But then why wouldn't they just play on their phone? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand where they're going with it.
That has been reported in chat by Wayne.
Yeah, I did a speedrun of it on Ouya. It was god-awful.
Please tell me about it, please. You gotta tell me about it.
Oh, God. Now, or should I wait until we're done with this news?
I want it now. I can't wait.
All right. Well, okay. Well, Rockstar released the Android version of San Andreas, and then everyone was like, hey, Josh, San Andreas came out on Android, are you going to speedrun it? And I said no. And then I had an Ouya, and then I was just like, wait, I can actually play it with a real controller. So I thought it was be
real
fine.
controller.
Yeah, the Ouya controller is so god-awful. It uses Bluetooth, but if you go more than a meter away, it disconnects constantly. The face buttons get stuck under the face-plate. So if you just press tapping a button to, like, I don't know, sprint, you're tapping the button and it just gets stuck and you can't do it. The little touchpad-y thing for it doesn't work, but then I found out you can plug an Xbox 360 controller in, a wired one, and just use that. So I was using that, but then there's some buttons that aren't bound because Rockstar did a terrible job of it. So I had to use 2 controllers at the same time, one that kept disconnecting and one that doesn't have all the buttons. It was... And then the frame rate is, like, lower than 25, which is what it's supposed to be at, and oh god.
Wow.
It was not good. No video of it exists, unfortunately, but yeah, no, never again.
Oh my god.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Awful experience for you. Amazing for everybody else.
It was so awful.
What was your topic, Nos, that you wanted to talk about?
I wanted to talk a little bit. We talked about speedrunning, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but I want to go back to it and talk about it, which is what I believe to be the best piece of San Andreas content ever made, and that is true 100%. And I would like you to tell us what that is and why, and just tell us a little bit about it, because there are many people in chat that don't know what this is, and they need to go watch it.
I don't know what it is. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to ask about that. I've been curious about. I've seen this true 100% term or
true 100% plus.
Sorry.
Plus.
Yeah, nobody remembers the plus. It's fine. Right. So basically, people want me to play San Andreas all the time, and I don't want to speedrun San Andreas all the time because I get bored of it. So I thought to myself, hey, I'll just make like a Let's Play series on YouTube that I can do easily for fun, but I'll do like, you know, I'll use speedrunner knowledge to do stuff, because there's like lots of glitches and stuff that aren't fast, they're just there. You never use them in runs. So I was like, oh, I can just show these in a YouTube series, right? And then it built up in my mind forever and ever. This was like 2 years before I even started it. And then it turned into this thing where it's just like, I'll do every single thing I can conceive of in the in-game, like killing every ped and driving every car and making every single car fully invincible with the glitches and stuff, and getting every single gang territory, including the hidden ones that are glitched across the entire map with gangs that you never see and all this other stuff. And then eventually I started it, and it got like a really big reception, mostly because Notch retweeted it, because he likes to troll me by retweeting my stuff sometimes. Long story, but yeah, so then I started it, and it turned into, instead of people like knowing me for speedruns, they load of people on YouTube, because I don't upload there very often, just know me for that now. So it's like now I have 2 problems. But yeah, it's just a series where I just play San Andreas, do everything I can conceive of, and use knowledge from speedruns and other glitchy stuff that I know and that I research. And yeah, season 1 of it was doing every single thing you can do before starting the first mission.
The master save. Some people say that it's almost done. It's almost done.
It is done. I finished it, right? Don't trolling me about that. Yeah, some highlights in the master save, if I can remember it, is there was one episode where I got a Hydra. If you know anything about San Andreas, you'll know that a Hydra is a jet plane you get at the end of the game, and I got one before doing the first mission. It took 17 hours. It involved taking a helicopter, which I also shouldn't have at this part of the game, from a glitched point in a safe house that's like above the garage where you can like store vehicles a little bit. Take that helicopter, fly it to San Fierro, get a Hydra to start chasing me and shooting at me, fly to a really specific point next to the police station, have the Hydra hit a building, fall down into the police station garage, and explode. Then I have to push it through the police station garage, being really careful not to despawn it or die. If you nudge the plane too much, the game thinks you're stuck on it and just despawns it. So you have to nudge it a little bit, but not too much. Also fight all the cops and stuff. Push it into the police garage, into the end back of it, where there's a hidden garage, which is a feature of impounding, which they never finished in the game. So if you got busted or something, the police would take your car and put it in the police garage. So there's like a garage, like a normal safe house garage inside the police station. Push it into that, get past this invisible barrier around it that every 21 seconds despawns every destroyed aircraft. So
naturally, that's what
I have to push it fast, but not too fast, or I'll despawn it myself through this barrier, get it into the garage, walk away from this invisible garage until the invisible garage door shuts, then walk towards it, looking at it the entire time or it'll despawn. Garage door opens, fixes the Hydra, and then I fly the Hydra out of the police station to Los Santos police station, store it there, and then save. That took 17 hours.
Wow. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And that's where the name The Master Save comes from, because after you do all of these things, you're saving the game. So you have a save file before the first mission where you have all of these things.
Yeah, you have everything you could possibly think of before the Master Save.
That's
insane. The only thing I haven't done yet, which people are going to hate me for, is I haven't got a royal flush in poker yet. Admittedly, that was a pretty stupid goal to set myself.
Yeah, that's not easy.
That's very difficult.
I've spent like 15 hours at that. I'm just giving up and just like I'll do it eventually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's lots of other. That's probably the most extreme thing I did. But yeah, there's lots of dumb stuff. There's
what about the girlfriend car, by the way? I think that's second out of ridiculousness, if you ask me.
So there's girlfriends in the game, but none of them are in Los Santos except one that you get later. So there's like, if you remember San Andreas, if you go outside Los Santos before you've unlocked the map, you get 4 stars. So most of this playthrough, I've had 4 stars the whole time. But you can go to the girlfriends. I can't even remember. Do you remember how I did it? Because I don't remember anymore. But there's like a way to date.
Well, there's the jealous girlfriend script that is completely broken somehow. Okay. It only happens once, and then it never happens again, or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So there's this another not finished feature by Rockstar for jealous girlfriends, where if you date a girlfriend and you have another one, sometimes they can follow you. Like the other girlfriend spawns when you're on a date and like follows you. But if you ever successfully complete a date without a jealous girlfriend popping up within like 3-second window, that script is permanently disabled. You never see that feature again. But a unique thing about that feature is the car that the other girlfriend, the jealous girlfriend, is in, is completely invincible. It's like, I mean, it's called all proof. It's fireproof, explosion proof, bulletproof, punching proof, and crashing proof, and all this other stuff. And yeah, so I went on a quest to try to get that vehicle, the invincible girlfriend vehicles. There were 3 I could get at the start. A monster truck, a hearse. I can't remember the actual car's called.
Yeah, and the hearse, the monster, and the
police
ranger,
car.
the police
ranger. The police ranger, yeah. So there's these like fully invincible girlfriend cars. I can't remember how I got them. It's like I had to turn up to a girlfriend's house in a tow truck.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have 4 stars, remember? And all the bridges are shut and everything. I have to go there, get the girlfriend, we drive, the date fails because I have 4 stars. Wait to see if a jealous girlfriend turns up, which is like a 25% chance. If they don't, I just start again, go there, wait until a jealous girlfriend turns up, then... What else was it? I forget now. I have to like...
You have to go into the marker, I think, but the jealous girlfriend has to come in right behind you and like hook up to your tow truck at the same time during the cutscene, so it doesn't despawn or something?
Yeah, she has to be like... I have to keep her close so the jealous one doesn't despawn if you go too far. Go into the marker that ends the date, have the girlfriend stay close enough, then get still with 4 stars, tow her to another garage, which then unlocks the car and it keeps the all-proofness.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like...
This is insane.
The problem with that was it was very, very boring to watch. So for a long time, people were like, "Where's the new episode, Josh?" It's just like, "I'm trying."
Yeah, they don't see everything that goes on in the background, and there's hours and hours and hours of. I can see where it gets the name from, though. The true 100% plus, you know, it's a good idea.
That was that was a temporary name I just came up with. It's vaguely speedrunnery, but it's kind of stuck now.
Good
stuff.
stuff.
There's lots of other stuff. The only other thing I'd say I did is I flew a Hydra under the map, under every single bridge.
Yeah, that was great to watch. That was the last episode of season 1?
Yeah, that was. I think it was the last episode. Yeah, I clipped a Hydra out of bounds, flew onto the map, and flew under all the bridges because flying under every bridge was a goal, but it was way too hard, so I cheated and went under the ground.
Oh, brilliant!
But, yeah, it's I didn't expect it to be so successful. Like other speedrunners have done similar things, but nothing to this extent and nothing this successful, I guess. Loads of people seem to love it, including Nos, I guess.
Yes, it's the format that I've always wanted to see something like San Andreas done in. Like, it's such a great format and it's great content. You've done a great job, for sure.
Episode 1 is in my likes now, so I'll watch it later.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Someone asked why Josh is called Joshimuz.
Oh God!
Where did that name
this
come
is a
from?
question you should ask everyone on a gaming podcast. You get some funny stories. So my name comes from me needing an Xbox Live name as a teenager, and having just watched Transformers and like Max Emus, and I was like, "Oh, Josh Emus," and then yeah. It's not that interesting.
I feel like a lot of
It's a really
names
stupid
come
name.
from Xbox. I know Bruffy1322. That was first out. I first used that for Xbox Live back on the 360 in 2006 or whatever it was. That was kind of the first place really where you needed an online name back in the day.
God.
Yep. Golden age.
The golden.
Thankfully, I'm apparently the only person that came up with that, and it's not taken anywhere. But yeah.
All right. So should we move on to some regular segments?
I suppose so. I'm gonna take a quick 2-second break.
But I was, do you know? I was just about to say before we do, I just wanted to mention something, but now he's left, so it's. What a scum. So for those who are new or just want to recap, if you want to ask any of us questions, you get on my Discord for regulars and subscribers and Patreon supporters. You'll have access to the phone bank. If you get in the phone bank, MB Hammer will be there to take your questions, and you can ask something to myself, Josh, Nos, ADT, or all of us, 2 of us, 3 of us, you know, whatever that you want.
Whatever. If you've been typing that question in chat, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this. Well, you ask him yourself.
Yes, on voice,
Let's make it happen.
not typing nonsense. I'm sick of the typing.
The mailbox is closed. We've canceled our PO box.
Yes.
There's no more write-ins.
So yeah, and then we'll have some questions and we'll answer them later on after our regular segments. But see, I want to do the choke of the week, but RDT's gone.
Here.
I want to do the only other regular segment that we have is RDT's Apple Juice Minute, and RDT, the main star of that segment, is not here. How can he just leave?
So we could do if we want filler, what we could do is we could look at the comments from last podcast, and we asked our guests to we asked our viewers to post in the comment section.
This again.
Oh yeah, I remember.
This again.
This again.
So
I'm interested.
Phil's done his homework again because
Good old Phil Hoff, GG.
Phil Hoff, best mod. Right, so we had 2. Do you remember we had 2 podcasts? So we had 2 podcasts back to back.
Yeah, but we didn't say for people to type something in the comments on one of them, right?
Yes, we did.
We did?
Yes, we did.
We did, both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so for podcast number 22, we had a total of 105 comments, and we asked our viewers to either mention NASCAR or compliment Nos.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We had how many comments?
So 105 in total.
105. Okay.
So how many do you think mentioned NASCAR?
25.
24.
That's pretty close.
42. How many?
I'll say 70.
That's way too high.
70.
38. 38 people.
38 high.
All right.
Nice. We had 40 compliments to Nos as well.
Some more compliments than us than NASCAR.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
I feel moderately better. Thank you.
We also had 3 people that said NOSCAR as well instead of NASCAR.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hell yeah.
What was 23? Episode 23. What did we ask for?
Episode 23 was with Sonny Evans, and we had 83 comments on that.
What did we ask for them people to mention?
We asked something about EAGLES. Eagles!
Oh, yes, I remember. How many? 80 what?
Out of 83. How many
83.
people?
I think this is higher. I think
Eagles.
this is like 60.
Okay,
I'm going to go stay at 42. I'm going to stay at 42.
He's done at 42, yep.
I'll do 43. Do this Price is Right style.
Price is Right style. Josh,
Wouldn't
do
you
you
go
want to
below
guess?
me?
I'll say 20.
You're welcome. Okay. The correct answer is 32. 32 Eagles. 32 Eagles.
Too high.
And Phil wants to know what people should mention at the end of this podcast.
I don't know, because there was one comment in particular on one of the last podcasts where someone was criticizing the fact that we say people to comment something in down below, you know.
Oh, okay.
Someone wasn't happy about it.
Oh,
Someone
so
wasn't happy that we were.
One opinion. We're gonna
So
Leave your complaints. Leave your complaints below.
So
Yeah, if you got a problem with it,
because
leave it.
it's one person and everybody else enjoys it, we shall do something else. What are we gonna? What word can we have?
True 100% plus.
That's a
Autobots.
good. Yeah, let's do that. True 100% plus.
Yeah. Okay.
If
So
you forget the
for-
plus, you will be banned from the channel.
Yeah, it's true 100% and then a plus sign.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you for that
RDT's back,
interlude.
so you
Yes.
can continue.
So
with the,
something else that I want to
topics.
mention from a previous podcast and follow up. Remember, I don't know whether it was 23 or 22 because they're blaring into one because they went up so quickly between them. But I think it was the last episode. We mentioned that. I quickly mentioned, I wonder if anybody has ever listened to our podcast who hasn't ever watched one of my videos or Twitch and just found us from the podcast. And we were all unanimously like, no way.
No, there's
no
100%
chance.
no way.
No chance. Not a single person watches this podcast or listens to this podcast and just this podcast has never
Under
known
their
about
own
me
volition,
beforehand.
no.
But
Clockwork Orange style. Yeah. Let's watch it.
I got a tweet in the previous 2 weeks
Oh, did you?
from Charles Jr. saying, thought I'd comment after the last episode topic. I'm someone who has never watched any of your videos or never watched a live stream. I only listen to the podcast, along with many others, on Apple Podcasts while I'm driving for work, not to work. I'm crazy.
Wow.
So, I did give him a follow-up tweet and asked him how he found us.
He's the boy.
He's the boy.
Yeah.
I asked him how he found us and what he does for a living, but he hasn't responded. So if you didn't check your
No,
tweet,
feels
Charles,
bad.
there you go. There's a
Maybe he crashed.
response. But I'm curious now. I'm curious how he found this podcast from neither the channel, the YouTube channel, or the Twitch stuff. Like, I can't imagine anybody finding us and deciding to continue to listen to us just
It's a rabbit hole,
based
man.
on Apple Podcasts.
It's because this is a quality production.
Stretching
Everyone
it out.
knows.
And I want to know what he does for a living as well, driving for work. Maybe he's a truck driver or something. But like this, he is the ultimate person who Nos is gonna like admire right now,
Yes.
because he
Oh, yeah.
is giving Nos his dream
my fantasy,
of being
yes.
a radio host in the 80s and having people listen to him on their way to work. He's actually listening to you at work.
Yes.
And
But
only
he's also
listening, not
driving.
watching,
It's-
driving. Yeah.
Amazing.
Good stuff.
Wow.
So amazing! I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe that. But
Big shout out to
shout out to him.
Jr. Bringing non-stop music for your ride home every Monday through Friday. You're listening to the Choking Hazard podcast.
You do that very well. All right, so let's do the choke of the week, shall we?
Choke of the week.
Let's
choke of the fortnight. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to here.
We do have an honourable mention this week.
Yeah, I'll play that one afterwards as well. Yeah. So I'll let you know when we start, so you can sync these up if you want to, talk over them. I was thinking that for those who are listening, maybe we should be a little bit more descriptive of the chokes. I mean, we try our best, but maybe shoutcast the chokes. That's a good idea. Yeah. I'll tell you when we start. We'll start.
Well, wait, hold on. Hold on. What track is this that we're on here?
Well, it's called Raton Choke, so I'm guessing it's Raton Canyon or something. Yeah,
hey, you want to
anyway,
here we go.
Just called Raton.
It's just called Raton. Okay. And Hammer, because I'm so unprofessional and unprepared, you can tell us who each of these chokes are from. Maybe.
Raton.
We can make this a team effort. And because I'm no good. All right, let's start it now.
Alright, so we got the Wagner. We're on a stunt race, Raton, as we go into a speed boost and into a loop. He's into a loop, going fast off the loop here as we return, going over the track, coming down, and slams into a rail on the right side, completely miscalculating where he needed to go, and he's dropped down from first to third at what is near the end of the race.
It was just about him. It was neck and neck for first place, and then that definitely
just choked him.
Yeah.
So that one is from our quintessential chokey Bloody Squirrels.
Bloody Squirrels always choking up a storm.
Bloody Squirrels just seems to be, he seems to be consistently awful, so good job.
All right,
moving into GT Sport. This is called Chicane Choke, and this is apparently Dragon Trail Seaside. And it seems to be
for this one, you want to keep an eye on the top left.
Okay.
Will do.
So
this seems to be a compilation.
Staying in first throughout these laps.
Increasing
There's
the gap.
one less person in the race.
And he's doing the corner perfectly every single time.
Wait,
yes, this chicane is being done very well as we go through this compilation. Now he's down into second for that one. And now he's back in first for the next lap. Lap 9 of 10. Coming into the final lap now, and misses his braking point, slams into 2 walls, and is now in non-contact. And where is first place? I think he gets a penalty there.
I think he's gonna. He's got a penalty, and he's got second place right behind him. Coming into the final corner of the final lap. That chicane is a nightmare. We've seen that same chicane in my GT Sport videos.
Yeah, it seems to be a rough one. It's definitely a rough chicane.
What does he do? He's got the penalty of it's 1 point. The gap is 2.2 seconds.
It's at 1.4.
His penalty's 2 seconds, so he still wins.
But does
did he still win? Well,
he still got the win.
Bad in selecting that then.
Anyway,
that was from Aegon of Astora.
Okay, now we're in the Vigilante.
We've got the
Vigilante
here on the time trial.
That was more of a hiccup.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the time trial for GT Online.
This is Route 68 time trial, I believe, where the ending point, as you will hear over the audio version, actually, you will hear where the ending point is if you don't know this time trial yourself. But lots of boosts, lots of engine revving in the Vigilante.
I actually did this time trial this time. I never do time trials, but I just figured it was so easy. Why not?
Yeah, we are navigating expertly through the traffic here. RNGesus, he is blessing driver of the Vigilante with this good traffic.
I like the simple title of the vehicle.
Driver is Baggins HD this time.
Baggins.
What is this, like a Batmobile or something?
Yes,
this GTA has changed significantly. Yeah, things have changed.
Alright, we're coming up to the end of the time trial, and I'll just let you guys listen to what happens.
The explosion.
And maybe you can guess where the ending point is.
But the thing is, I didn't crash into
So what could that have been? Could that have been a random and a Hydra?
Oh.
And there we go.
So
right
he crashes into the petrol station at the end of the time trial and then fails the time trial because of it. Okay.
Wow.
See, I made specifically sure not to do that when I did it. Straw poll in the chat.
Wow.
Choose which of those 3 was your favourite, which will be your choke of the week. We'll give our thoughts as well, but only once you've voted, so that we're not going to influence the...
Damn.
How about our honourable mention?
Yeah, I'll do that. But I just want to mention that supposedly there were quite a lot of good chokes this week. So you know, and feel free to, if you haven't submitted a choke before, or you have but it hasn't been selected, you're welcome to resubmit them every single episode. The links are always in the description of the YouTube video, all the show notes on YouTube, on the podcast's RSS feed and whatnot. So the honourable mention is from Major Copyright Gfred Fail, as you guys are voting on which one is your choke of the week. Let's have a look at this. Have a watch.
Oh, he's in the...
So this is
in the Carbonizaire.
Yeah.
9th place out of 24. Oh no, that's not come. Oh, it's the parachute jump. He's doing the parachute jump at the end of Gfred.
Yep. Parachute line, the almighty parachute line.
Right, so this
as
is
he thankfully speeds up the footage for us.
Yeah.
Good editing here
yeah,
from
GG. Appreciate
Major
it.
Copyright. Yeah.
So now he's up to 8th. What's he gonna do? He's home. He's home
to
free.
the island.
He's clear.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Touches down. Oh no, he's on his face. Oh, he's rolling down towards the ocean.
Oh no.
He just manages to get up right before the water, but unfortunately, here comes someone from overhead and steals the position.
Steals the position from overhead. There it is. So that I can see why that was an honourable mention, because it was kind of like it wasn't a full-on choke, but it was definitely a fail. So
that was
more a fault of the game, really, and the wonky body physics and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Although having said that, that was probably still better than choke 2, which ended up not being a choke because he still won the race.
Yeah, sorry, I that was my bad. I misread
it's all your fault, Hammer.
The scoreboards at the end. It is all my fault.
You can pack up your things. We're going to be looking for a new producer for the next episode.
I'll take full responsibility. It's fine.
Do we have the votes all sorted?
Yeah, the votes are. We've got 85 votes in, and it's pretty unanimous.
All right. Okay. So let's explain what I think my choke is definitely number 3. That's my choke of the week. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I definitely 3.
Yeah. What about you, RDT? You're on the verge of something else.
I'm on the edge between 3 and 1 because 1 had implications between other players, and 3 was kind of.
From a purist choke standpoint, I fully understand what you're saying with that. Yeah.
But I'll go with 3. I'll agree with 3. I think.
So every time that we're unanimous with something, the chat seemed to be in similar unanimity or whatever the word is. So, go on then. What have we got?
We have got in 3rd place is choke number 2, which was my choke. In 2nd place was choke number 1, Bloody Squirrels with his Wagner, and in 1st place is choke number 3, the speedrun in inverted commas attempt being failed by Baggins HD. Congratulations!
Well done, Baggins. Congratulations.
You're awful.
You are terrible.
Good job.
You are hopeless.
Thank
you
for
failed.
sending it in.
Well done.
That's one fiery personality you got there.
So, next up is RDT's Apple Juice Minute.
Oh boy!
And the last time we spoke to you, you were nervous. Things were happening. Things were about to happen.
Yeah, things were rolling,
and then things did happen.
This one's not going to be about these guys, okay? It's not going to be about the Philadelphia Eagles, all right? We're going to go back to some roots. But also, they did win the Super Bowl, and they beat Tom Brady, and it was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. And whatever. But that's.
Wait, you didn't trash anything in your hometown, right?
No, I did not. No, the most we did, we were out in the middle of the street, screaming, "Tom Brady makes out with his son." And that's about it. That was the worst of it. High five some cops. It was great. Now, we're going back to the roots. Some diehard viewers of the Choking Hazard podcast might remember back when I was in Philadelphia, I reviewed, or not reviewed, because these aren't really reviews, but I presented a drink called Lion's Head. Okay, is proud American beer, roar of a lion, but just the head. Now, represents the American spirit, the proud American people. I'm going to give each of you, Josh, Nas, and Bruffy, one guess. I'm not going to say who's right until you're all done. What country do you think Moosehead would be from? If you were to take one guess, Moosehead.
I've got my guess. Yeah, that was going to be my guess.
Or Canada.
What, Josh? What was it?
Canada.
Okay, Bruffy.
Yeah, that was my guess too.
Okay, and Nas, you also said Canada.
Surprisingly, I said Finland first.
Oh, okay, but you said Canada at the end. Surprisingly, not surprised. It's from Canada. It's what other place would ever have Moosehead as a? I mean, come on.
The chat was unanimous with that answer as well. Like, there was no.
Canada has a lot of great things. We don't like to give them credit being here in the greatest country on earth. Those communists up north, they've got something going on that they know what they're doing. They got peace, love, maple syrup, mooses. Apparently, it's
an attractive prime minister. Lots of things up there.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau. He's a great looking guy. He doesn't have the best sense of humor, but it's all right. And I got to give him one more thing. This is one of the best mass-produced apple juices that I've had.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
High,
as far as cheap apple juice goes, this one's really good. Okay. And those most in the host in a boat, what you're talking about up there, they know what they're doing. Those maple syrup sucking communists, they know what they're doing. I know they don't like to share a lot with us, except for, hockey, one border. We don't like to admit that they're up there. We think we're all of North America, but whatever. At least they share this and Niagara Falls with us, and I'm happy. So Moosehead, go get some. All right, see what I'm talking about. All right.
Oh God! Good luck in the Winter Olympics, Team Canada. Go on.
Go.
Moosehead, interesting. I mean, that's an interesting name. That's a very interesting name.
You've got one person in the chat that is a fan of Moosehead.
I saw
Major Gas is a fan
Major Gas is a fan.
Moosehead.
Yeah.
Jeddah, if he's still here, he's actually Canadian. So
there you go.
So, do we have any questions?
No.
Phone bank. No questions.
No questions.
No. Is that a first?
I have a question. I have a question for Josh.
Oh, okay.
Josh, what's your...
Wait, hold on. Welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast. You're our number one caller because we had to improvise. Who's your question for? What's your question?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
My name's MB Hammer. Josh, what's your favorite skip or glitch in the games that you've played?
Oh God, I'm so bad at remembering things. My favorite.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I might have to think about this for a bit. I'm gonna blurt out the first thing I can think of, and it's not gonna be my favorite. Ah, damn.
I'm very much the same as that. I'm not good at remembering things. It's a nightmare.
So, what's going to happen is somebody in chat is going to say, Josh, this is your favorite one. You've said it before. And I'm going to be like, yeah, so just wait for that and then I'll answer it.
Yeah, that's how it normally works for me too. The chat know me better than I know myself.
Yeah, see, people, there's happening. See, GT skip, Life's a Beach skip. I mean, they're not my favorite, surely.
That beautiful skip. That's the music van one, right?
Yeah, the only skip I've ever found for San Andreas. Yeah, that one.
Is there much like sort of notoriety for finding things within the speedrunning community, finding glitches and skips and things that advance the game for everybody?
Well, there's like a subset of speedrunners. They're called like routers, and they just normally just make the routes, find the glitches, have the technical knowledge, but they don't generally do runs themselves.
Right, okay.
Shout outs to Nick 007 and Patrick, who helped me a lot. But yeah, I mean, there's like a subset of like people that you know that are famous for that sort of thing.
That's interesting.
Nobody's helping me in chat. Okay, I can't.
Blowing up Ryder's car? I mean, that sounds like a pretty good answer.
No. No. Yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. I'll explain that. It's blowing up Ryder's car is like, at the start of the game, like the second mission you do is a mission for Ryder. And in the mission, you drive him down to like where the fast food place is and stuff, and you get a haircut and whatnot. After you come out of the haircut place, he teaches you. There's like a little tutorial cutscene about eating food to like not die and get hungry and get fat and stuff. That little tutorial thing, if you start the mission, immediately blow up Ryder's car, which fails the mission, and then start the mission again, you don't watch that cutscene. The problem is, if you're watching a speedrun for the first time, and you're watching this, and you're like, oh, Josh is on the second mission. Wait, why did he blow up the car? It just looks like I run out from where I start, blow up the car, start the mission again, and just drive. And the thing with skipping stuff is if you didn't see it without the skip, you never knew it was there. So it looks like I'm just doing it for no reason. And it became this horrible, horrible meme in my chat where everyone's just like, Ryder's car question mark every time.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like, if you're watching a speedrun, but you don't know the original game well enough, like, you see someone do something that looks strange, and you don't see why they did it, because you don't know how it's meant to be. Interesting.
It's a common problem, especially with, like, stuff at the beginning of runs like that. It's like, it just looks dumb. Like, I'm just failing the mission on purpose and then starting it again. What could that possibly do, right? It's weird.
Although I'm sure.
Okay, right, there we go. Taduva found my favorite skip. Okay, can we improvise, Bruffy? Could you show something if I link it?
Of course,
absolutely.
If you pop it in the choke chat on the Discord, Josh.
All right. Give me a minute to do this. I'll try and.
While you're doing that, my inspirational question asking has caused the phone bank to literally light up with one person. So I'm going to go and see what they're wanting.
Okay, thank you, producer MB Hammer, as always, managing things in the background. Although he doesn't have a lot of callers to manage today. It's just how it goes. Maybe we've been too harsh on the non-write-ins. No, screw that.
No, you have to have some tough love sometimes.
Yeah,
get people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. So, what's been going on with you guys?
Well, I don't even know what's going on.
I'm back. If we're ready for it. Have you watched Josh's? Oh, Boski's in chat. Hey, Boski.
We should have Boski back on as a guest because we did him a disservice the first time.
Yeah, I want Boski back.
And I've since met him in person at TwitchCon.
Right now.
Awkward.
Okay, I found the video, but yeah, go on.
Oh, put it in choke chat, like on Discord.
Oh yeah.
That's what we were waiting for this whole time.
Sorry. So
for the love of
put it in the regular chat, in the Twitch chat.
Oh.
I've got the Twitch chat up more than I have the Discord chat.
So, okay, disclaimer, this isn't the original video. The original video is a Discord video. This is me reacting to that video. It's the best thing I could find. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it's fine. I like
choking hazard quality. That's all that matters.
I crop myself out at some point. If you mute it, it's fine. So,
is there a point where I need to skip to show it? Or do we watch the whole thing?
Let me do that. It's early. It's 9 seconds in. Just go to 9 seconds in and mute it.
Alright, okay. Let's go.
You don't need to watch the whole thing. You'll know when it ends.
Okay. Let's switch. There we go. Let's
Bandicam. Excellent.
Yeah. So this is a strat found by Patrick in 2013. This is a mission called Deconstruction where you need to take at the end of it. So you need to destroy some things, and then you need to put a portable toilet thing into a hole which has some guy in it you don't like.
I remember this.
Yeah. You'll it's hard to commentate because I'm watching with delay, but you'll see when it you'll see what happens. He's like blowing up the porta potties with a rocket launcher and
and then in the dozer.
Just yeah, you'll after the dozer is when it happened.
Bury the
Yeah,
phone in his
this
toilet. Okay, yeah. I vaguely remember this. I need to play San Andreas again. I've only ever done it once. Way back in the day.
Yeah, so there's the porta potty.
It's a hairstyle.
Bury the foreman in the toilet.
Nah, so you gonna cut your hair like that?
Beautiful.
No way. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So this toilet thing you can only push with heavy vehicles, and the thing with heavy vehicles is that they're really slow. So Patrick found out if you put exactly three satchel charges on the front of it, it lands exactly in the hole. It's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
That's
a beautiful shot. I love stuff like that where it's like you do a specific thing and it will just work perfectly.
Yeah, and there's a horrible, really old webcam of me in my parents' house.
Thanks, Sneakam.
But yeah, and that turns out it's completely consistent, and we use it in every run forever.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And you get those satchel charges from the Catalina mission, don't you?
Yes,
in
specifically.
Bone County?
Yeah, specifically for that and some other stuff.
Do we
speedrun memory? Maybe I'll run San Andreas sometime with all this memory I've gotten from watching it.
I want to see it, Nos. I want to see you do it. See what time you get.
Try to speedrun San Andreas.
Yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing. I thought about doing a San Andreas playthrough, but doing like false 69% minus or something, and like only doing things that I wanted to do.
Your own specifically made speedrun.
Yeah, where I just do like the useful things and don't like go get a 4-star wanted level or anything, because that's
title credit speedrun.
Yeah.
Right, so we have one caller in the phone bank.
Yes.
One person out of the audience brave enough to talk to
Huzzah.
our hosts and guest.
We will not go
is
for a
Trumpet
podcast
Master.
without one.
Trumpet, my dude. Hello, Trumpet. You're on the Choking Out podcast. What's your question, and who's your question for, and all the above, and all that stuff. And don't.
This show's focused on speedrunning, so you better get that question out fast. Who's your question for? Where's your question?
Spit or swallow.
This is going to be indirect. This is going to be for anyone that has any relations to it. But my question is, since F1 is going to be kicking off very soon, as the cars are being released, like Williams and Haas. What are you going to be excited for this F1?
Daniel Ricciardo's smile when he wins every race. That's what I'm excited for.
See, this is exactly the problem. Every single time I try to talk about racing, you get that exact reaction from Nos. Back in the chair, like, oh my god, the world's about to end, that we're talking about racing and Formula 1.
The Grid Girls, they got banned.
Grid Girls aren't there anymore. Yeah, the Grid Kids now.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, no! I'm not excited for Grid Kids. Okay, I was no. I'm not excited for that one. I'm not Alex. I'm not King Blaze. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Alleged.
The thing with F1 this season is they're gonna have Halo for the first time, so we get to see how that goes. I guess.
Yeah, everybody is hating the Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as they're putting it, like there's the Williams and the Haas have been released, and it's almost like they've tried to make it as invisible as possible. The black Haas car has the black halo and the white.
Yeah.
The white. It's as if they're trying to get. Have you seen the aero screen that IndyCar have been testing? That looks infinitely better.
I saw that.
Infinitely better. It looks so much better, so much more futuristic having this screen over instead of this stupid Halo block.
Yeah, I know what you're about.
That's what they should do. They just have like a clear plastic pod that's like reinforced. That would look awesome.
Like fighter jets
are protected. Yeah. Why don't they do that? They don't want open wheel anymore.
But my safety device is best safety device because it can hold bus on top of it.
There you go. Now you're getting to the regular car reviews, man.
But yeah, I saw those car reveals as well. And yeah, like you said, it's like the black car with the black halo on the black background. They just try to hide it. It's like when the races actually start, or the testing, and you can see it in daylight against like a different colored background, it's going to be so noticeable.
That's what's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the first bits of footage of all these cars, even lining up on the grid with all these halos on. It's going to be so strange.
Yeah, it's just like changing the silhouette of something that much. It's like, if you think of an F1 car, that's like the iconic shape. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Rip T-Cam.
I think that's what most people are going to be talking about, though, from this season. I mean, hopefully it's a bit closer for, maybe McLaren and Red Bull are up there a bit more with the Renault engines. Hopefully the Renault engines have come on. Maybe McLaren. Renault themselves are up there with Ferrari and Mercedes.
No, but this is Honda's year, man.
Yeah. But, do you know what? Toro Rosso with the Honda engine, first place in qualifying for Australia. Calling it now.
Alonso just like jumps off a cliff. Yeah.
Alonso makes these decisions every single time. Alonso goes to a different team, his previous team does well, and then it's going to be the same thing here. I'm sure Honda are going to be just super engine.
Oh god!
Thank you, Trouble Master, for bringing a little bit of racing to this
to this corner.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
And I guess that's about it. What's wrong with RDT right now?
I heard, I don't know why, Josh said something about pods, and this is immediately what I thought of.
Now this is pod racing.
But, and so I was looking through videos, and there was one where Anakin's revving it up, and he goes, "It's work!" I might as well show it.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the Terminator scene, yeah.
We won't get copyright.
So I just cracked up.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Of course. As always, this is the thing with these podcasts. We start off relatively well, I think, and when we have guests on, we talk about the topics of what the guest's here for.
I'd say we talked about our guest topics.
Yeah,
we did great.
And then it just goes into the regular segments where it's just a free-for-all. Just everyone does whatever they want.
Oh, God.
Which is
Guys,
good.
could you not congratulate yourselves while the guest is still here? That's kind of...
Yeah, we talked about the guest a lot. We did.
Yeah, we actually did. We did our jobs for once. Can you believe it?
I learned a ton.
I did. I really enjoyed this podcast, actually. I really enjoyed the conversation and the whole learning about things. It was good. Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And get to bed so you can wake up early in the morning for your...
I'll be alright. I say I'm going to go straight to bed after this. I'm probably not. I'm going to sit here just like, I'm not tired.
Isn't it always the way?
The great nation of Sweden.
Everyone check out Josh, by the way. Links will be down below on the video on YouTube. They're in the chat on Twitch as well. Nos is doing his partnership thing.
Yes.
But
can I talk,
he's spoken too
Nas's...
much about that. He's spoken way too much about that already, so we're all good.
I just want to give some good reports.
Okay, come on then.
Everything's been going really well. I've only had 2 days that were under 75 viewers, and those were both 67 and 71. And every other day this month that I've streamed has been over 75. So it's got to be the push from the podcast and everywhere else. So if you've come to my streams and watched them, I really do appreciate it. But don't get complacent. Still show up because we've still got quite a few days in the month left to go. But everything is going great, and I'm super excited. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And on the other end of the spectrum, we've got RDT here who would like to stream and be doing this sort of thing, as he said last time, and decided 3 times this week he was like, oh, should I stream? Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll do what I want.
Fair enough.
Maybe at some point. Follow if you want. I don't give a shit.
All right, do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Having me.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.